All right, let's break down the absolute nail-biter between India and the West Indies. This was a match that had everything on the line, especially that coveted spot in the T20 World Cup semifinals. The commentary team, I think, summed it up perfectly. I mean, that one line just says it all, doesn't it? Right from the get-go, it captured the electric atmosphere. The stakes were so incredibly high that it wasn't just a crucial game anymore. It became this spectacular piece of sporting drama that had every single fan glued to their seats. And seriously, make no mistake, this was the textbook definition of a do-or-die contest. For Team India, the math was simple. You win, you're in. A loss meant you were packing your bags and heading home. The pressure was just immense, and, every player on that field felt it. So, how do you respond to that kind of pressure? Well, India came out swinging. Literally. The batsmen immediately set the tone with a really powerful and aggressive start to their innings. This quote right here really gets into the mindset of the Indian openers. It wasn't just about brute force, it was all about precision. They knew the field was spread out, so the strategy was crystal clear. Find those gaps with surgical accuracy. And the result? It was pretty much guaranteed. And yeah, the result of that precision was almost always 4 runs. It became a familiar sight, really. The batsmen just took complete control, punishing any tiny error from the bowlers and keeping that scoreboard ticking over at a blistering pace. So all this aggressive hitting meant India made fantastic use of the power play. Those first 6 overs where the fielding restrictions let you play with a lot more freedom, they didn't just survive this period, they absolutely dominated it, building a super strong foundation that put the West Indies on the back foot right from the very beginning. And, the West Indian bowlers almost felt like they were serving it up on a platter. This quote is the perfect example. A gift-wrapped full toss that was just smashed to the boundary without a second thought. It was a real statement of intent. But just when it looked like India was going to run away with the game, the whole script flipped. The momentum began to shift completely, and it was all thanks to a really decisive counterattack from the bowlers. This was the turning point. I mean it. After a really tough start, the Indian bowlers found their groove and just started to claw their way back into the match. They totally changed the complexion of the game with a series of crucial breakthroughs. And it all happened in a flash. First, boom, a key wicket from Varun Chakravarti that got the crowd roaring. Then, a super sharp catch-out in the deep by Surya Kumar. And finally, the masterstroke. Hardik Pandya comes on and strikes with his very first ball. 3 quick blows that just left the West Indies completely stunned. Oh man, you can just feel the tension in this moment. The umpire was a bit unsure, but the commentary team knew it. There was definitely a sound. That tiny little noise, picked up by the stump mic, confirmed a massive wicket, and just goes to show how razor-thin the margins were in this game. So here's the key takeaway. This game was really a tale of 2 completely different phases. It started with the absolute dominance of the batsmen, no question. But it was that incredible, gritty fight back from the bowlers that truly defined the whole contest. Okay, so with the bowlers having wrestled back control, the stage was officially set for the grand finale, that final nerve-wracking push towards victory. The math was getting simpler with every ball, but the tension was just going through the roof. The target was getting closer and closer, but the pressure was becoming almost unbearable. Every single run was cheered like crazy, and every dot ball felt like a gut punch. And so it all came down to this, the final over. With the entire game hanging on a knife's edge, the question on everyone's mind was simple. Could India hold their nerve and actually get across the line? India didn't make us wait long for an answer. The very first ball of that final over pretty much sealed the deal. You can hear the raw, unfiltered emotion in the commentator's voice as he calls the shot that sent 1 billion fans into celebration. And with that one magnificent strike, it was all over. The celebrations just erupted. India's place in the semifinals was officially booked. A huge victory, achieved under the most intense pressure imaginable. This is the call that's going to be replayed for years, isn't it? Just pure, unadulterated joy. The shot, the 6, and the confirmation. India had done it. They were officially through to the semifinals of the T20 World Cup. So, to wrap it all up, it was a performance that had absolutely everything. A blistering start, a really gritty comeback, and a blockbuster finish straight out of a movie. With this magnificent win, India didn't just win a match, they sent a message to the entire tournament. And we'll end on this final thought from the commentary box, which I think just perfectly encapsulates the whole performance. See, India has always been known for its style, its flair. But in this high-pressure, must-win game, they showed incredible substance and character, and that just leaves one question, right? Can they go all the way?